Today I'm going to share a budget SSD from a company that you probably never thought you would see a budget SSD from. Lego. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And if you're new here, I do videos just like this as well as ADHD tips. So if that sounds like your jam, consider subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, what's up fam? Welcome back. So today I am going to bring to you a budget SSD from a big name, actually the king or queen of the SSD market, and that is Samsung. This is their 860 QVO. Yes, I said QVO, not Evo. 1 terabyte SSD drive. Now I picked this guy up on Amazon.com. It was only $117.99. And I think that's a killer deal for a Samsung SSD at 1 terabyte. Now there are a lot of budget options out there when it comes to 1 terabyte SSDs, from brands that you probably heard of and brands that you probably never even heard of. And I reviewed a couple right here on this channel, not 1 terabyte, but there's a lot of options out there. Now Samsung is bringing you an option that will fit in your budget while getting the Samsung brand name and the guarantee and the confidence that you know you'll have in picking up a Samsung SSD. Now, how are they able to give us a 1 terabyte SSD at such an affordable price? Well, it's because they're using what is called QLC NAND flash in these drives, or as Samsung likes to call it, 4-bit MLC, which is QLC. This is a new affordable option in NAND flash that people are going to be able to take advantage of and get high capacities and high performance at the same time, but at a fraction of the cost. Just think of it as when MLC was kind of like the standard, then TLC came around for consumers. Now we have QLC, which is pretty much going to take over the TLC market, because now you can get larger drives at even more affordable prices. So when I saw that Samsung was offering this, you know I had to jump all over it. I had my eyes on it for a while. Amazon was selling it for $129.99, then it dropped to $117.99, and I said, okay, now I'm on board, let's grab it. Because what I had in my 2010 Mac Pro before was a Samsung 845 DC Evo. Yeah, that's a 5-year-old SSD that was meant for servers, and it was running like a champ in there. But if I can get a brand new one with the latest technology, let's do it. Why not? So you know, in PJ the Great fashion, we're going to do a series of tests here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test how fast my 2010 Mac Pro boots up using this Samsung 860 QVO. And then I'm going to do a black magic test to see what kind of speeds that we get. They're advertising 550 read and 520 write respectively, which is right on par with the 860 Evo 1 terabyte drive. So that's kind of interesting in itself. And then we're going to do a real world test to see how long it takes to transfer files to and from this particular drive. Now, full disclaimer, if you watch my previous SSD reviews before, you know that I only have SATA 2 machines. Well, it's going to be a little bit different this time around, because I'm actually going to put this in my Mercury Excelsior PCIe slots, which is going to give me true SATA 3 speeds. So we're really going to be able to see what this thing is going to be able to perform. And then when I do the read and write test, that also is going to be at true SATA 3 speeds, because I'm going to do it from 2 SSDs that I have in a RAID formation in SATA 2, which is just a hair higher than SATA 3. So we're really going to see what this thing is going to be able to offer. So with that being said, let's head over to the computer and let's take a look at those tests. Shaving off the amount of time that it took for me to log in, I'm going to clock that at roughly 36 seconds to boot. Ain't too shabby. Now I was going to do a screen recording of this, but I don't want anything holding it back from the speed test, so just going to do it this way, old-fashioned way. The right speed as advertised, well, a little bit below it. Read speed, a little bit below, but keep in mind I do have my OS and apps on here right now, so it's going to be a little bit lower, but that's still pretty decent. So we're getting really close to those advertised speeds. Okay, and just for the sake of consistency, I always try to use the same folder that I used in previous videos. This is a 9.32 gigabyte folder of videos. I am first going to do the write speed test. We're going to write from my edit and scratch over here to the QVO. Try and hit that timer at exactly the right time. Let's see how long it takes. And go. That was pretty damn zippy. That's like the fastest I've seen in all the SSDs I've tested. That's roughly about, says 20, I'm gonna give it like 18 seconds. Typically I've seen 30 seconds, so that's, write speed is pretty damn good. All right, same case scenario. Now we're gonna see the read speeds. So we're gonna copy that same file from the QVO to my edit and scratch and see how long that takes. Try and hit this at the same time and go. Okay, so roughly about the same. Shave off maybe a second or so, so about 22 seconds. Read speeds, pretty decent. All right, final thoughts on the Samsung 860 QVO 1 terabyte SSD. Me likey. I think this is pretty decent. This is a far cry over what I had in my machine previously, which is, you guys know, that Micron 1100. And then for like a hot minute, like a week, I had that Samsung 845 DC Evo that I mentioned. It's slightly faster than that Samsung, and it's leaps and bounds faster than that Micron 1100. For $117.99 for a 1 terabyte Samsung SSD, I think this is a steal. This is a steal. Okay, so what are the caveats? What's the catch? How is Samsung able to deliver this at, if you look at it on Amazon, $30 less than their 1 terabyte 860 Evo? Well, as mentioned, it's because of the flash that they're using. It's QLC, or if you ask Samsung, 4-bit MLC flash. So it's a cheaper, more affordable flash. So that's the reason why they're able to cut down on the price. And another thing too is Samsung is notorious for giving you a 5-year warranty on their SSDs, the Evo series. They're only giving you 3 years on this bad boy, 3 years. And I'm guessing that's because of the flash technology that they're using. It's not as robust, and their endurance is not going to be as good as the Evo drives. Now, outside of that, your average consumer, not that average consumer, I'm talking about like us. The average consumer is not really going to see a difference, in my opinion, between this and the EVO. You can save yourself, what is it, 30 bucks, and go with this guy and be just as happy. I mean, you get a 3-year warranty instead of a 5-year warranty. But Samsung makes pretty solid SSDs. I mentioned that 845 DC Evo 5-year used SSD. It was running like a champ in my Mac Pro, and I just threw it in my 2012 MacBook Pro is working just fine there. So Samsung makes quality products. So 3 years, 5 years, you'll be all good. Now, I will disclaim this. If you're picking this up and you're thinking you're gonna be doing like huge file transfers, like to and from it on a regular day-to-day basis, that's where the difference is going to be between the QVO and the EVO. Now, these drives all have, you know, their caching technology, SoC caching. Once you get to a certain amount in your cache, you're gonna see your performance drop when you're writing stuff over to it. The EVO is guilty of it. All SSDs are guilty of it. In the EVO, you'll see the drop, but it's not gonna be so drastic that you're gonna be like, oh my God, what happened? You're not gonna do that with the EVO. You may do that with the QVO, because once you hit that cache peak, the performance on this thing drops. I mean, it like really, really drops. That's where you're gonna see the difference. I even noticed it when I clone my OS and apps over to this, as opposed to my other Samsung that I mentioned. Performance dropped on that one once it hit a certain peak, but I was able to clone the drive in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Once this hit its peak, it slowed down so much, I think it took like 3 hours to clone over to this guy. So huge file transfers, that's where you're gonna see the difference between the QVO and the EVO. But if you're just picking this up to be like an OS drive, you're not really gonna see the difference between the two drives. I honestly think you're not gonna see it. And if you're picking it up to like store, say like your games or files or things of that nature, you're not gonna see the difference. Save yourself some money. But if you're a huge file transferring person, spend the extra 30 bucks, get the EVO. Hey guys, if you like this video, do me a favor and give it a big old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. Trying to hit you up with videos on a consistent basis every weekend. So I would love to see you around for that. And hit me up in the comment section, let me know. Do you have this SSD? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Are you considering it? Did this video help you out? Hit me up in the comment section, let me know. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up there as well. And until I see you in the next video, this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G.
I won't make it easy for you now.